the record button, and then I'll say, "Yo, what up? Hey, how's it going?
Hello again.
How are you today?"
Pretty content,
Good.
except Twitter's got hurt and spoilers aren't safe.
Fair, 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 fair. Okay, so we're doing a deck doctor today, and I have a guest with me, so our setup's going to be a little scuffed, but that's okay. Go ahead and hit us with the elevator pitch of what you've got going on, and then we're going to see what we can do about it.
What you see is all of the leftover cards I got from the Crimson Rampage pre-release, specifically all the evil related cards.
Okay.
These were all the leftovers that I got after the trades I made with other friends.
Okay.
So basically, I wanted to be a May-themed deck using these leftover cards. Hence the title Box of Leftovers.
I love it. Okay, so the goal. Go ahead.
Thank you.
What is our constraints on set one?
Like I said, this is a May-themed deck.
Okay.
And she's only appeared in Crimson Rampage, so I want the deck to still be character-centric around her, but at least keep all the leftover commons I have.
Okay. Okay. I will see what I can do. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is we got to talk about attacks and realizing that you might have to go pick up some more because currently we have 15 cards in our deck, and we do have a 50 card minimum. And so just 4xing all of her stuff just makes sense.
Very much so.
From there, do you have any knife slices?
Wait, which was that again?
It's the toga attack, the 5 low for 5.
Like I said, all that you saw was all that I had left over.
Love it, love it, love it. So we're gonna toss that card in. You just have to pick that card up from your local store. What else do we have here? Obviously, I know we're on a budget. Let me actually reset here. Let's see what we have. 14.
It's not undoable.
Yeah, I think we just toss in double a second double blade, a second piercing.
She pumps damage as long as that being a 5 base speed is actually probably gonna be your go-to, to be honest.
Double blade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the check to block it is less, so it's a 6 speed in her, right?
Right.
So and if we eventually when we do get copies of her asset, just because it's a rare, the upgrading value, that's the fastest thing in the deck next to Knife Slice, right? So
let me actually go look and see how much
box full, baby.
box full. Let's do that. It works. 250.
Man, why?
You gotta have 4 in her. Yeah, I will say I think Hatsume is nigh unplayable without at least one copy of Box Full of Babies. And so for the time being, I just have to put one inside your deck. And this is like a.
That's fine. I was actually hoping I could get 4 of them because they're key for her character, but like I said, I was unable to get any from Crimson Rampage.
Yeah, totally. I mean, just go to unfunstuff.com and just.
You'll get a discount.
You will get a discount. I think it's like $11 to get them all. You'll have them forever. From here, as we take and we look at the rest of the commons and uncommons. Let's look at the evil symbol. What do we have access to? I think grabbing a third or successful sales pitch seems neat.
Like Zoom. Zoom's good for the low.
Zoom is cool for the low. Also, it has the keyword, so we get to take in and look at a tech card. Man, as soon as you get more tech cards, I think that card's going to be tight. This card's going to be so sick. Successful sales pitch.
Oh, yeah, like one of the scry off the top kind of things. Yeah, for sure.
Card's crazy.
There was a ton of them that we were kind of used to, but...
This one's commit. It's not even like destroy or remove.
Yeah, not even a flip.
Yeah. Imagine standard with this card.
Hey, I actually think that's very on character. May is a female, and Mineta does like females, so I think the more surviving the finals you can get, it's very on board with the theme of the deck, though.
Makes sense to me. Man, I actually kind of like classmate introduction to this deck.
I think having a big focus on speed is something that she can excel with, because she already will inherently get you damage just by having some assets in play. And if the goal eventually is that we have the 4 box full of babies by the time we have this deck to kind of completion, like, just having +4 on every attack, as long as our attacks are fast enough, like, that's good enough.
I agree. Where's this bring us? We need more low blocks in our evil deck. Surprise, surprise. I think we just have to 4x rooftop and then Prage. We get 6 more cards. What are the low blocks we're allowed to play? I mean, it was 4x Zoom, right? And that brings us to at least double digits on the low. It's not exactly the number that we want to be at, but it is good enough.
Not looking good.
Man, I want to put in Nervous Habit, but it does not have... I mean, we've got a couple bad guys with double blade piercing and the knife slice, right? Like, I think Nervous Habit is just like a phenomenal card. It's just one of the good ones. 3 more cards do we get to put in?
So what about ones that she like only has a 1 of right now?
Such as mid-match and Intimidating Presence.
Okay.
Mid-match I think is fine. The fact that it's flip and discard a card, if there are 2 more tech.
Yeah.
Man, this card could have gained 6. I think it'd have been appropriately costed.
Do you think would it be possible to put another floating in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that.
We love 0 diffs.
Yeah. 0 diffs that hit hard. We're here for it. I think mid-match is probably the worst foundation in the deck, honestly, just because like it's really hard to make it happen because we're not using Hatsume's ultra rare, right? If we had the electromagnetic stomp, I think that I'd be down. But like the fact that we just don't have stomp available to us, it's tough to get these multiple techs in because we only have Netgun Surprise and Wire Arrow to our advantage, right?
True.
But that's okay. Like we don't need stomp. Obviously, it's just like a really cool, really good card in Hatsume.
Well, I don't mind having a few in there. I mean, how much is it?
We'll check. Looks like it's
The same price as...
$3.
Yeah. Oh, that's cheap.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, if that's the case.
And it will help out your low block count too, and it'll be on attacks, which are for a premium.
Well, we just slammed 2 in there and probably call it good, right? 18?
18 for 50. She draws, cycles, not cycles, but...
She just draws?
She just draws if
Yeah.
you play an orange card.
It's
so,
going to be
yeah,
aggressive for sure.
I think this is one of the characters too that has, especially on this kind of symbol, has the most room to grow come like next set. So like you already having this foundation and like building it, and as soon as the next set comes out, like you said, any other tech cards that come out, a lot of these cards go a little bit further, and as well as just like getting better block coverage is like kind of what we're talking about.
Well, is there anything here that like shouldn't exist? We probably could like take piercing down 1 more.
It is the least impactful attack in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is, but it is a low block. But if because we added the stomps, we have some wiggle room.
So Matsu, how many stomps are you willing to go get?
So that's probably the cheapest I can afford.
Okay.
I think that's a fine number.
If you eventually, you hit the lottery, and you could jam this up to a 4 of. I think you could just take out all of the Piercing Descents and be good with it. We do need one more card in our deck though.
How about another challenging?
Another challenging. I like challenging. I think challenging's cool. We don't have a typical 5-hand size health. So like use your challenging sparingly, but I mean it's certainly fine. My big issue is if you're watching the stream is I just don't love how low the low blocks are and how low the high blocks are. I kind of want those to be up just a little bit higher, especially with like how bloated our mids are.
Wait, so which are the lows again?
The lows are we've got 11 low blocks and 12 high blocks, but that's just like a symptom of the evil symbol, right? If you took and you played this deck on life or all, like we'd be talking about a completely separate story, right?
True, because like I said, this is basically, well, you know how some people would just take a deck and, well, take some cards and from a booster set and put together whatever cards they have?
Right.
That's essentially the whole point of this deck.
Makes sense to me. Makes total sense to me. Yeah, I think the first thing that you got to get for your upgrades is just you got to get the 4 box full of babies. That should be #1 priority. And then after that, it's how many stomps can we get?
And then honestly, the rest of it could be very common, uncommon, and the evil symbol can kind of get there. And then the character itself, like she pumps enough damage, but she only gets there when you have those assets, and
Correct.
so you definitely need that for the moving piece.
Yeah, and if you've played in any tournaments, putting in something like the weights. Whatever that card is called.
Actually, that's another issue. I know I've been doing these deck challenges, but I have been unable to take part in any tournaments.
Oh no, that's okay.
I don't live near Vegas.
You might. I mean, there might be events actually closer to your house if you go and go on the main website. There's a store finder that you can do stuff, and there's also like events online that you can do if you've got an okay webcam set up. But
well, first of all, I don't have a webcam set, and as for the store thing, there is a store that does these tournaments, but it conflicts with my work schedule.
That is rough. That is rough.
So I basically make these decks as a bit of a hobby.
I love it. I love it. That's very, very cool.
Thanks.
Very low. Is there anything in this deck that you disagree with, that you don't like?
Well, I was wondering if there could be a side deck, if possible.
I don't normally do side decks on these deck doctors. It's not really a thing, just because of how the deck doctors work. And with the budget constraints that we have, it also makes it a little tough.
Good point.
My easy go-to, especially at if you like in a hobby sense, or just as you're building this and just the sake of having a sideboard, I think there's nothing wrong with just like finding other characters that have the evil symbol and having them as just like other options. I think you could easily just, you take a look at all these cards that are 3 copies of, or 1 copies or 2 copies of, and just if you ever get the extras, that's where they can go. It's not that you necessarily have to make room for them in the main board.
True.
That reminds me, I actually have a Mineta from Crimson Rampage.
That's perfect. Yeah, just slam him in there.
Oh, and in that case, maybe one more surviving the final for his sake, and well,
he plays challenging the fakes a lot better too, because he's got a little bigger health pool, and you get to shove a card into their card pool on their turn, and then if you eat something, it makes their next thing to play harder as well. So like that's another kind of easy slot you could bump up there.
Hold on a minute. Side, one of them, and that is from Crimson Rampage, one of the challengings, and one of the survivings, and as many sticky balls as you want.
Perfect.
Boom.
Makes sense to me. All right, Samatsu. Thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me shoot you this list over, and you have a good rest of your day, okay?
I will.
All right. Peace.
Bye.